What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic. And today's project, this is another mod by bdasilvacarvalho. This is the Buick Roadmaster. Just the one edition, the standard edition, available from the auction house or the junkyard. And we got ours from the auction house, the very bad auction house. Did we get a good deal for it, though? Absolutely not. 36,252 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 30,325 as it stands, losing out on 5,927. But we obviously aren't going to do that. We got I can say we've got a few options today. We had a few options. French Toast has confirmed what we will be doing. We'll be taking this absolutely wild beast around the gravel track. Yes, we're going to take it off-roading. Why not? We'll put some off-road tyres on it. Maybe make them a bit bigger and beefier than standard. Have we got a little bit of room for that? Tiny bit of extra room at the front there. And the back is hidden underneath half the body anyway. So we've probably got a little bit of room there as well. So we can go for some slightly bigger tyres. We do have a drive shaft running through the middle. Probably means we won't be able to put our performance drive shaft on. Otherwise, it will stick up way too much. But let's jump in and talk about the engine. That's the engine that's currently in there. If we jump in and have a look, that is the V8 2-carb overhead valve. I feel like we should swap it to one of the Hemi engines. And I think we should just go for the straight-up V8 Hemi 426 from factory standard. The 426 is the most powerful engine out of the three Hemis that are listed there, at least anyway, but not overly powerful. So I think we should swap it out for that one. And let's get in and use our TK Basics to go and purchase the right one. We'll come back to the body parts in a second. Pressing Z on your keyboard if you have the TK Basics mods lets you scroll through some options on here. We obviously just want to go for tuned engines. We click on there, and I think we need to go down to the bottom. Yes, right at the bottom. Last page, and you've got the V8 Hemi engines just here. The 426 Shaker would be cool, but it doesn't fit in this one. So we're going to go for the straight-up V8 Hemi 426. It is also the most expensive out of the options we had, which is this one, and this one. This one looks like it might have more carbs, so it could have a bit of better tune in. But I think this one's got the better overall power, so I think we should just go for that one there. Let's get it bought. Let's just get it thrown on the stand very quickly. In we go. Get you on there and check you out with all your performance parts. Actually looking very nice in that sort of colour combination. We'll see what we want to do with the colours a little bit later on. I haven't even checked to see if there are any liveries to go with the Buick Roadmaster. So we'll find that one out a little bit later on as well. But we will be swapping that engine out. So we're not going to keep this one. I'm going to tear it down and scrap it off for spare parts. So we can maybe do another tuned performance version of something sooner rather than later. Still only got 4,131. I am working on it. I just don't want to make any special trips specifically for that. So yeah, let's go back to here. This engine screen. We will be swapping it out to that V8 Hemi 426. And then tuning it up, trying to squeeze as much power as we can out of this bad boy. We do have some stuff in the engine bay. Obviously no ECU because we're carbureted today. I've remembered it from the go. We do have battery up here, fuse box, brake servo, ABS pumper module, wishy-washy reservoir, coolant reservoir, power steering reservoir, and a radiator that doesn't have a fan housing kit. But it is all looking pretty complete under here. We've got all four wheels on, so that's normally a good sign. Everything's looking good apart from the drive shaft poking up through, but that is what it is. Before we jump in and get started with this beautiful Buick, I do want to say we do have, it is the last week available for you to purchase the Signature Series mug and t-shirts with that beautiful musical showpiece pickup Volkswagen on there. I have no idea what to officially call it. But yes, if you want to grab one of these, this is your last week to do so. Available until August the 31st. And then they will be removed from the site and they will never be up ever again. So if you don't get one by then, you won't be able to get one. Hopefully we'll do another Signature Series soon once another vehicle makes it in to the top 3. And the other vehicle we're currently working on or waiting for the results for are this beautiful Z. So if you haven't given this one a score out of 10 yet, make sure to do so in the comments below. And if it does make it into the top 3 over on our show car board over here, I will make another Signature Series mug and t-shirt for it. It's got some high competition to beat to get up into that top 3, including that musical masterpiece Volkswagen, musical showpiece Volkswagen up there. So yes, if you haven't voted for the Nissan Z outside, do give it a score out of 10 in the comments below, and we'll get that one all finished up by the next episode. But now we need to crack on with this beautiful Buick Roadmaster. So let's get it into the car wash. Let's get this beautiful beast all cleaned up. in the car wash. Let's get the beautiful Roadmaster all cleaned and see if it is a white underneath all of that dust and grime. It definitely looks white at the moment. Only time will tell what colour it is white. And with a lovely green mirror, beautiful green on the side there. I say it's white. I think it's more of a silver colour than it is a white. It does look quite nice, though, for the Buick. But anyway, let's get the interior cleaned. Get this beast back on the lifter. Get that old engine ripped out of there. All of the suspension and everything tore down. Ready to insert that new Hemi engine. Then get it into the paint shop. And check out some liveries, if there are any. And then pick some colours for the beautiful Buick Roadmaster. The Roadmaster's in the air. I mean, it is still looking completely... All of that exhaust down the back there. Looks like we've got everything. A little bit of clipping there. I don't really know what's going on there. Some supporting frail. But anyway, oil pan's what we were looking for. And there is one there. So let's get that all stripped out. Over we go. Get you all drained out. There is some oil in there. And it's not looking too bad. I'm relatively pleased with that. We'll keep that as it is. Let's jump in and see what we need to take out, though. Definitely feel like we need to get started with the starter. Nice and simple. Nice and easy, out you come. Next up, we'll do the drive shaft. No rusty bolts so far. Looking good. Oh, there's the first rusty bolt on our lovely little drive shaft. Out you come there. We're going to grab these front exhaust sections as well, just so we know we can lift that engine out and then out with the gearbox. And this should be the last bit. And we should be able to pull that big chunky engine out of there, ready to tear it down. Scrap it all off because we don't need it anymore. We've got the new Hemi 426 engine ready to go in this beast before we take it off-roading. So let's see if we can pull that engine out of there in the first go. I hope so. I figure we should be able to, but I'm not sure. There we go. Out you come. Nice and simple. Let's jump in. We've already had a full check of the engine bay, saw everything that was in there, and all the suspension is looking complete. I can see bushings. I can see inner and outer tie rods. Can I see the outers? I can indeed. Another one down there. Suspension is all looking good. Even if we jump up the back, this is all looking... All the arms are there. All the bushings are there. All the springs are there. The shocks are there. The fuel tank and fuel pump is all there. That is what we like to see. Nice and simple. So let's just crack on and drain some liquids. A right-click, additional tool, drain tool. Click on the container, and it will start draining the liquids out of. We've got 3 more containers to go. I'm going to crack on with that. Get the rest of this engine bay all stripped out, along with all of the suspension. Get that repaired, replaced, or upgraded. Obviously, we don't need to do anything with the engine because we've already got a new built engine over there. Looking fantastic. But then we'll come back, sort out the bodywork, ready to get this beast into the paint booth. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded for our Buick Offroadmaster. Yes, I made the joke early. Let's just crack on. We need to strip all of this bodywork off. So off with you, off with the fenders, front bumper, and we don't need those headlights. Definitely get some shinier, newer ones on there. Windshield, out you come. Door and our one green mirror. Definitely a fan of that one. Out you come there. Let's keep going around. Rear bumper, tail lights, trunk, rear window, if I could get it. There we go. A license plate off of there. The tail light for the other side. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. And door off of there. Is that everything? It looks like it should be everything. So let's crack on and get our interior out. Because it's so matched, I'm probably going to keep the interior and steering wheel on here because, well, it is very vibrant in that colour. So we're probably going to try and keep that colour. But have we stripped everything off? Let's jump in and take a look. It's 1%. Can't swap frames because there is only one option. But if we go into here, we'd still have the rear clamshell on. So we need to go and get that piece off. Oh, just sat under the license plate there. There we go. Nice and simple. That should now be everything. There we go. And it does now say bare frame. So I was wrong about that. It does still say it. We just hadn't quite got everything off. But now it is all off. Shouldn't have come out of there. Frames at 37%. We bought the car for just under 37,000. So what do we think today? I'm not going to go high, but I think 1750. 1750, 1300. Not too far off. We'll have a quick look into the body shop. In we go, Buick Roadmaster. And I think everything is a straight like-for-like swap. It does look like that, yeah. So we've got front bumper, front end, left door, right door, fenders, windows, hood, headlight, tail light, mirror, front bumper, clamshell, rear doors, rear left fender. I don't remember taking that piece off. That might be interesting. We'll have to try and find that one if it needs to go back on. Windows, headlights, tail light, trunk. Yeah, so everything is just a nice and simple straight up like for like on this one. which is good to know. Very easy to put back together. Not too many options. So I'm going to go repair what we've got to repair, buy what we need to buy. Then we can get this Roadmaster all finished off and into the paint shop. Let's get this Buick Offroadmaster all back together then. Straight into it. On we go. Front fender. I did have to buy a new one of them. We did repair the hood, the front bumper, and all of the headlights. In fact, the rest of the front end section is all repaired on there. And a blank license plate for good measure. Fender on this side we did repair. And obviously all of the doors on this side were repaired. But we did have to buy new windows and a new mirror for this side. The other side we didn't have the mirror for anyway, so we did have to buy a new one. So sadly, we say goodbye to our lovely green mirror. This is the rear left fender. It's this whole back piece. The reason I didn't take it off is because it wasn't on there. So there we go. Now it is. And a shiny new rear window in there. Trunk piece we did manage to repair, but we did have to buy a new new rear bumper, should I say. We did also cheekily manage to repair the tail lights along with the headlights. So that's all good on there, saving us a few pennies as we go around. This door was repaired. This door we obviously had to buy new. And then we got new windows and a new mirror on there. And I think that's everything on the Offroadmaster. We just got to get in and get the interior done. So we're going to go back in with the same bench seat, which is the Cape Mark 7 bench. And then the Cape Mark 7 front seats as well. All looking fantastic, matched up in there. And also the steering wheel is from the Winchester. All in that same colour scheme. All matching in the rest of that interior, and I think it's all looking pretty good in there. Probably not even going to try and put any colour on it at all, because it all just matches so well. So we'll probably just leave all the interior as it is. It might change the base. We'll see how it all goes a little bit later on. But have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. That's what we like to see. Let's get this beast into the paint shop, see if we've got any liveries to play around with, and then pick the colours. In the paint shop with the Buick Roadmaster. Hopefully there's some liveries. Let's have a look. Sadly, there are no liveries. That's a bit of a shame, but there we go. It is what it is. So let's have a look at some factory colours then. That's a nice metallic blue. Maybe we could go with that. What else have we got? Some sort of dark green, brownie colour. I don't even know what to call that. A bluey green, beigey colour. Not a fan of these so far. That first blue was pretty good. Very burgundy red, deep blue. I preferred the sort of lighter blue on there. Grey colour, brown, more beige, more burgundy. I have no idea what colour that's meant to be. I think that's a little bit of green in there. Then a silver colour, then more of a green, then a metallic orange. That looks fantastic. The red's not too bad either. I am a big fan of orange. I do like orange, so maybe we'll come back to that orange. Not really a big fan of any of them, so I think we're going to use this factory orange in a metallic finish for a change. I'm quite liking that. I might change this to black, because that is a separate part. So we might just go to black on that, and then I might try and do the grille black as well. I was thinking about the bumpers, but obviously I can't do all of this side trim, so I think we'll leave all of that chrome on there, and then maybe try and do some chrome wheels to go with that. But I kind of want that grille black. Just take a little bit of the chromeness out the front if we can. But so far, so good. I'm liking that. What do we think about screws and bolts? I'm going to go into here. I'm going to go paint all screws, but not rims for the time being. I may come back and change that. But I'm thinking of going for a very, very vibrant red on there. I'm going to go for that. I'm not sure it's going to work, but let's get it all painted. Let's get you all on. That orange doesn't look orange once you spray it, but because it's metallic, comes out very nice. I want to open the hood, and we get a very matte orange in there. That's why I normally go for the matte colour, so you can get everything sort of blended in. But we'll leave it. It is what it is. But I do want to jump in. I think this was here. Yes, the ABS bumper module was. So I want to sort of see how red these bolts come out. Quite a dark, deep red on there. It is still quite vibrant, so I'm happy with that. We're going to leave that one as it is. Out you come from there. And then, as I said, may just try and... Is a mirror a whole piece? Yeah, so we might do the mirrors in a black along with this rear left fender in a black as well, and leave everything else as it was. I think so. And then we'll sort out the rest of the engine and stuff like that later on. I'm a bit worried what we're going to do with this matte to the metallic orange. Maybe we'll keep some of the matte orange on the engine, so it sort of blends in a little bit more there with maybe some metallic-y parts. Probably a lot of chrome in there as well to keep up with the chrome that we've got going on around the front. I can take that front end off, can't I? Yep, I'm just double checking that. So that's the bits we're going to paint. I'm going to paint this rear piece that goes up around here, the mirrors, and that grill. I'm going to try and get all of them in black. See how that turns out. But then it's time to get this beast back on the lifter. I'm going to get all the engine and suspension all painted. Hopefully looking pretty fantastic. Probably use a lot of this metallic orange in the suspension. Save us some of that darkness underneath. Make it a bit more vibrant, a bit more bright. Ready to take this beast around the gravel track. That's everything painted for the Buick Roadmaster. Looking pretty good. We did get that rear left fender in the black on there. Metallic black. Looking quite nice. Along with the mirrors and that front grille. Sadly, we did lose the actual badging on that front badge. But it all looks pretty mean at that front end. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. Just the grille, the mirrors, and that rear trunk piece in the black. We do obviously have a bit of black trimming going around the edge, sort of keeping it all in line. And I said I was going to do chrome rims, but I'm a little bit tempted to do some black rims. Maybe we'll try black and chrome mix if we can get that to work. That might look quite nice. That's the thought anyway. We'll see as we turn out a bit later on, because I haven't even thought about the rims yet. As for the engine bay, if we open it up, just a lot of black in here. A little bit of chrome on that ABS module. Obviously, we've got the red bolts on there as well. And then we've got a little bit of red and chrome just on the battery setup. Tried to get the radiator to go as chrome as I could, which was just a bright white in a chrome finish. And then, you know, if you do it with the quality of life mod, you lose all the texture. So I tried to keep that as much as I could, but it's not overly shiny compared to the rest of the chrome stuff. It's got a little bit of gleam to it, but not a lot. Steel black's mostly up and around here. In fact, all the dark stuff you can see is in a steel black. The only bit of issue is if you have the TK Aftermarket, the battery clips with the fuse box, as you can see there. Still workable. You can still fit it in and stuff like that. Just a tiny bit of clipping. Now let's jump down to the suspension. We got a chrome cross member. Lots of steel black in the centerpieces and on the shocks. And all the bushings aren't even coloured. They're just the standard TK Aftermarket dark colour bushings. We've also got a bit of black on there. And then a bit of that body matched orange on the suspension, on the upper and lower control arms, and a little bit on the springs there. If we jump down to the back, very similar chrome central piece, a few splashes of orange on there, lots of that steel black, and a few bits of red, just for good measure. Fuel tank is in the metallic black with a red fuel pump, and it is all looking quite nice, if I do say so myself. But now we need to go and build that beautiful Hemi engine ready to drop in that shiny engine bay as we go on in. It's looking good on the block. Now, this is the same orange that's on the car, just in a matte finish. And it kind of looks very similar to the standard Hemi orange. So I'm very pleased with how that turned out. The block is in orange and black, so you get little bits of the steel black dropping around. So I did the arms in steel black. The heads are also in a steel black, but with a bit of red in there, just for the springs, and a little bit on the inside, if I could see it anywhere, just there. Just for a little bit of good measure. Now, you do still have the valve push rods, 8 on either side, so 16 in total, but you have rocker arm, one singular piece, rather than all of the single rocker arms on this one. And the spark plugs just drop down in there, again, 4 on either side, so 8 in total. Chrome and orange on our distributor, with a performance red, which is the same red that's on here and down here, on the cap, and then black on the clips on there, and it's all looking pretty good. The water pump is obviously in orange with a little splash of black, and our timing covers in black with a little splash of red. Crankshaft pulley on Yugo, you are in chrome. The water pump pulley is in a steel black, and if we nip over to here, the alternator is in chrome and red, looking very nice. The power steering pump is also in a chrome and red, again looking very nice on there, and we've got an oil filter down here in the orange, but not forced, so you still get the lettering and text on it and things like that. I think it looks quite nice in that finish. Belts are just steel black as per usual on Yugo and on Yugo, and then we've got a big old radiator fan at the front, also in that steel black, and these bolts will go red when it's in the car. Ignition coil just up here, not painted, because I like the finish on this. Every time I use it, I go to paint it, and I'm like, no, it just looks good as it is. So we're going to leave it there for that one. And then just up here, we've got a cheeky little fuel filter in that same red that we've got going on, dotted around. Now, these head covers, I did try and do these in the metallic orange that's on the body, but it didn't really work. So I stuck with the matte orange theme for the engine. Also, the engine bay is matte orange as well, although slightly different finish than what we've got on here. This is all forced with the quality of life mod. So it comes out a little bit different. We jump up to our beautiful carburetors. These are in chrome and that beautiful red color that we've been using. I think they look fantastic. My favorite carburetors because these ones actually paint well and you get a good finish on them. Then the air filter base is in chrome with our red performance air filter and our cover on top also in that chrome. Keeping up with the chrome theme, looking very nice. We've got some ignition wires in here as well, which are in that matched red, just giving us a splash more of that at the top end. Along with the exhaust manifolds, which are in a beautiful chrome, and the rest of the exhaust will also be in that chrome. Hopefully looking fantastic once we get it all in the car and all finished off. Last piece going on now to this beautiful Hemi engine, and that is that all finished. Looking very nice. Plenty of orange, a few splashes of red, bit of black, and obviously plenty of chrome on there. So let's get it off the stand. Let's get it dropped into the Buick Offroadmaster. Let's get on then and see how this engine looks inside the engine bay. Get you popped in. Get the crane put away, and you can see that chrome coming up the top there with a few splashes of the red. And then as we get in closer, you can see this is a bit more of a lighter orange on the wheel arches, but it does kind of blend in with the back and the underside of the hood. So I'm happy with how all of that turned out. I think that's looking very nice, especially with all the red bolts on there as well, just giving it that extra bit of definition. Pleased with how that turned out, but we've got a bit more to go. So let's get it up in the air. Gearbox, drive shaft, and obviously all of that exhaust to go in, and a cheeky little starter as we crack on around. So let's start off with the gearbox. Same as the block. Orange and black on there, looking very nice, and obviously those are red bolts tying it all up. We've got the black plate on there, and if we jump down to the back very quickly, we'll come back in a second. Oh, there we go. That's also got a black plate on that front end for the pinch flange, so it kind of matches in with our black drive shaft. Now you can see this one from the inside, which is why I've kept it as the stock one and not gone for the chunkier carbon fiber TK Aftermarket one. So we'll check that one out in a minute. And also the reason it's black so it looks a slightly bit better on that interior. I did it in chrome originally, but it was a bit too much. But let's crack on with the exhaust. I like these front exhaust sections. 100% piece that I forgot to sell off earlier. But anyway, on you go. They've just got a little splash of red in them on this sheathing, and I think it just finishes it off, making it look fantastic. The catalytic converters are obviously chromed out cat delete pipes. Middle muffler is the chromed out resonator delete pipes, and then we've got an exhaust pipe going all the way down to the back, and then if we can get around onto our rear mufflers, which are obviously in there fully chromed out as well, all looking very nice. If we take a cheeky little walk out, plenty of chrome, a few bits of orange. The underside was a lot more orange than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would come out very black, so keeping all of this sort of black and chrome under here along with some of them splashes of orange has really made it pop. I think it looks absolutely fantastic under there. Very, very pleased with how that turned out. So let's get you back down on the ground. We're going to close the hood because we've got some windows to tint and see if we can do anything with these lights. Just maybe take a little bit of brightness out of them. Not sure about the rears. I do think they play into the red. So we'll see how that goes. So let's bring you over. I'm going to crack on, get the windows tinted, come back in and see what other options we've got before moving on to getting some beautiful rims done. Well, that's the windows tinted. The windshield and front windows are at 70%, and then all of the rear windows are all at 100%. Let's move around, though. What have we got? Rear bumper. There is some little lights down there. I mean, they're barely visible anyway, so I think... Oh, do you know what? Maybe let's just add a little bit of darkness in there. Not too much. 75% I feel is quite nice. We'll go for that. We'll see how it looks when we come away in a moment. What's next? Headlight. Let's spin around. Are we going to be able to do anything with the headlight? Or we can take the texture and the indicator orange out. Why don't we go for that 75 again? Giving it a bit of darkness. The actual lens for the headlight doesn't change. Do we prefer this side or this side? I quite like the darkness of over here. Do I want to make it darker? I don't want to make it darker. Do I want to make it too much chrome? I'm going to stick with the 75%. Let's go for that on there. Get the other side done as well. On you go. I'm not sure about that. I know I don't like the orange of the indicators very much, but I'm not 100% convinced we've done the right thing. But anyway, let's move on. Tail light down the back. I'm not sure I do want to do anything with these at all. I think they're just going to go too dark. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave them with the red. It does kind of go well with the orange, and obviously we've got red brake calipers and stuff like that. So we'll leave them. Do we have any more? No, that is it. So let's come away from that mode. I'm happy with the headlights. I think taking out the little bits reflective of the orange, or the not very nice color orange on there, really helps the body pop just that little bit extra. So I'm going to leave that. Happy with how that turned out. Didn't do anything with the interior, as we said we weren't going to. And there's our drive shaft. Didn't see if that was in chrome. I think that would have looked a lot worse, especially considering there are some darker elements in here. But anyway, let's just take a seat. The windows are definitely too dark for the gravel track, so I am going to need to bring them down just a little bit. Feel like probably quite a bit. So they're at 70. I'm going to go down to 55, and we'll quickly get the other windows done. Have I gone past them already? I did. Front left. There we go. On to you to 55. Is the other side? No, this way. There we go. On to you with 55. Is that going to be too much? That was, I mean, it was exceedingly dark in there, wasn't it? That's still a little bit dark. I mean, I know we're inside and we got the bright lights, but I still think that's a bit too dark. I'm going to go again. We're going to go again, and I think I'm going to bring it down to 50. And I think we're just going to have to kind of hope that that's enough. I said 50, not 49. On you go, rear, and then the two front ones. Get them down to 50 and 50. We'll take another seat inside. Hopefully this is going to be enough. That was very dark. I mean, we can see it still feels dark. I might bring it down to 40. I'm doing it. It's very dark. I don't know why, so I'm going to bring that all the way down to 40. Thank you for staying on 40. 40 and 40. And we're going to take one more seat inside and hope this is enough. Because from the outside, it barely looks like it's got a tint on it. But from the inside, it's still quite dark. I mean, that's bright enough that we'll be able to see for the gravel track now. But it's still pretty dark on the inside, but then pretty light on the outside. Anyway, that is what it is. We'll leave it there. I'm happy with that one. I'm going to top up some liquids, and then I'm going to go and choose some beautiful rims and decide what we're going to do with the colours. When I bring you back in, we'll be checking them out and mounting them on this beautiful Buick Offroadmaster. That's all the liquids topped up. Now we need to move on to some rims, and we're not going to paint them because I haven't actually painted them today. So let's just jump in and get these rear rims on. Now, these are special rims. These have been given to me. These are in the, I believe, the latest version of TK Aftermarket. So if you grab that one, I believe you can get access to these rims. If not, they should be coming in a later update. As I say, I'm not sure. I've got given this version of TK Aftermarket by Multiply, not by TK, but there we go. So let's just crack on and have a look at them. These are the Volk GTC style. There's two. There's this style and a style B, which is a white sort of inner piece on there. I haven't painted them at all, left them as they are. For the rear rims, we've gone for a 19-inch rim with 235 width and a 40 profile. Now, it is 235 width. It is a slimmer width than we've got at the front, but that's because of the rear fenders covering them up. They are so good-looking rims. I really, really like them rims. I think they look fantastic, even without any paint on. But if we come out, if I had them the same width as they were at the front, they actually clip through this chrome work and a little bit through the top. So we had to bring the width down just to make it fit inside there just a little bit better. But let's jump onto the front and get this rim on. This is an 18-inch rim, so slightly smaller in the rim size, but 255 width, much wider at the front there, still with a 40 profile. And again, I think they look absolutely fantastic. Beautiful work by Multiply putting these into the game. We swing around to the lighter side, get a slightly better view. Looking absolutely beautiful. I love these rims. They look fantastic. Let's get you back down on the ground. This should be this car 100% finished now. We'll just double check that. There it is, all the way across the board, all 100%, looking absolutely fantastic. Let's get this beast outside in the sun, give it a final check down before we put it onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating will be, and then we'll take this beast onto the gravel track, hence the off-road tyres, to see how well it can perform, see if we can manage to beat, doubtful, the Audi Quattro VM Rally with a 1:41 at 6.76. on its flying lap. Will we be able to do it? There is only one way to find out. Let's get this beast onto the track. Let's find out. Before we jump on the gravel track with our Buick Offroadmaster, we do have a couple of things left to go, starting with the license plates. Off with these blank ones on for our finishing plates, which are F-Roadmaster. Offroadmaster is what I was going for. Obviously, you can't quite fit it with the amount of letters. I tried a few different options, but that's the one I settled on because this is the Buick Roadmaster, but we've built it for the gravel track, so it's definitely an Off-Roadmaster. Well, we'll find that one out in a little while. On with the rear plate, and that's all the plates done. I think this car is looking fantastic. I especially like these Volk rims. I think they look absolutely beautiful. Very, very impressed with them. I will double check with Multiply and see if they are available in the latest edition, public edition of TK Aftermarket or not. And I'll let you know as soon as I can. It'll probably be in the next episode. But let's jump inside, get this one started and see what she sounds like. Obviously, we do have that drive shaft through the middle and a little bit of the suspension clipping through just in the corner of the steering wheel. It's weird to say the corner of a round object, but you know what I meant, just down there by the clutch pedal, and then a little bit on the other side. And no dials or anything. Let's see if it changes when we start her up. No, unfortunately, no visuals on the dashboard or anything like that, but it's one of them things. We can live with it. Like in the tick over, one of my favourite sounds on a tick over, that little bit of grumble. But let's give it some gas. Definitely sounding quite mean at the top end. No over rev on this one, which should help us maybe a little bit on the gravel track. But before we get to that, let's get this beast into the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating will be. On the dyno then with our Buick Roadmaster, more on that in a bit, with 363 factory horsepower from the Hemi 426 we've swapped in. How much have we gained? What will its drag rating be? Let's have a look. A gain of 392 horsepower, 108%. We like to see that, definitely like to see it when it's more than 100%. Bringing us up to 755 measured horsepower from this beautiful Roadmaster. Drag rating of B327, so it's probably a good idea we're not going drag racing with this one today, although the competition will be a little bit easier, so we might eke out a win, but we're not going to get anywhere good on the board. So for a laugh, I'm hoping it's for a laugh anyway, French Toast has suggested we take this one onto the gravel track. That's why it's got off-road tyres and things like that. I've already tested it. This isn't... I mean, it's going to be fun, but it's not going to be fast. I think calling it the Offroadmaster was maybe a bit of a stretch. But more on that as we come to the gravel track. Before we get there, here's the gearbox tune I've gone for. Very bizarre. Brought all the ratio all the way down to 2, and then first gear all the way up as far as we could. Second gear up quite far, third gear up a little bit, and fourth gear just there. I don't think we're going to see third and fourth gears, if I'm being truly honest. This is an absolute beast. It's like a land yacht times 10 with a load of power. It's not a good combination unless we were straight lining it. Maybe around the racetrack with a bit more grip, potentially. But we're on the gravel track, so we're going to have some fun with that in just a moment. We do also have two fully tuned carburetors on this absolute beast, giving us an additional 3% power each. And if you want to learn how to easily do that every time, there is a short video up in the right-hand corner here. It's also linked in the description below, along with the link to the the ECU tuning, an easy one to do that. Both shorts, less than a minute long, very simple to see, understand, and hopefully you'll be able to get a perfect tune every time, just like me. But enough of that. Let's get this beast onto the gravel track for some fun, see what we can do, and if we can make this one in to the top 5 on the gravel track lap time board. Well, it's been a while since we've been back on the gravel track, so this could be quite interesting to start with. And also, I have already driven this car. Be prepared for some not overly quick laps, but let's see what we can do with this absolute beast. Process is I do 2 full laps, 1 standing lap and then 1 flying lap. The flying lap's the one that counts mostly for the board, although sometimes I do wish we could use that standing lap, because sometimes it might be a little bit better, which just shows that I'm a terrible driver. But let's get on with this. I'm going to say very few parts will I be using full acceleration on this beast to try and keep it going. I am using my Xbox controller, so let's get on with it. Full acceleration until the lights go, and then I'm just going to lift it off a little bit so we can start getting the power down. And you'll see already this likes to slide, so we won't be using full power very often. Up into second gear though, as we come into the first corner, try and power it round and let it pull us round using some of that power. Back up into second gear. Now it's even more squirmy than it was before as we come down into the left-hand turn. Round we go. Oh, nice bit of drifting around that corner there. And we'll get, oh, too much power, off of the power. Straighten out, power back down. That was difficult. I don't think we're going to get any air over the jump. No, and we're already sliding on the exit. Let's just keep it going if we can. As I said, don't expect these to be fast laps at all. This car is very, very slidey. Rear wheel drive land yacht on the gravel track. not the best idea we've ever come up with, but it's fun anyway. So let's keep it going. Round we go. Not too bad. A bit more power there as we squeeze up around the corner into the next hairpin, pulling it all the way around. Nice slide using the power. Had to come off a little bit. It is what it is, but there we go. Into the narrow section where I don't think you could roll this because it would just slide, but you definitely crash it. A little bit off the power, slight dab of the brakes as we come in to the forest section. Bit more power up. I wish I hadn't done a bit more power there. Bit more power as we come down into the final corner. Cheeky little right-hander. We should be able to slide it around nice and easy. And then back on the power for the final straight. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Definitely not going to be on the speeder board. But we got 100k coming up into the first corner. Dab of brakes. Definitely think it's going to be needed to slow this beast. This absolute slidey land yacht. We just need to get up and over this crest without spinning out or anything like that. Down we go. We are now on, obviously, the flying lap. This is the one that counts. I certainly hope we can beat that. 2 minutes 4. Probably not with me driving quite like that. Maybe not. So let's get back onto some power. Not too much power. We already almost slipped off in the first lap. Up and over the jump. Bit faster than last time. And we're a bit more stable on the exit. That is what we like to see. Coming around as we come into the long hairpin before the short hairpin coming up in a second. This one goes all the way around. Should be able to hold a bit more power through here if it wasn't so squiggly. As we come around on the exit, not too bad, not too bad. Pulling around for the left-hand hairpin, we could have kept that slide going, but I got scared and let off the acceleration just a little bit, so that's on me. Coming around to go to the uphill section before the next hairpin, over the little crest at the top, ready for swinging around to the other side. Taking a few bollards with us, just the one bollard in the end, because we had to correct our steering too much. As we come down into the narrow section, keeping as much power on as we can without sliding, coming around. Am I going to need the brakes? No brakes this time around, just a bit off the acceleration. Not too shabby. Into the forest section. Let's keep this going. Come on, Roadmaster. We can do it. Not that tree. Oh, that was close. Had to definitely correct there, which definitely will have affected our score or our time towards the end. Bit more power down in this section without losing it. Had to come off a bit there. Where's the marker? There she is. Oh, I nearly didn't make that corner. Very, very slidey. You'd want to do very gentle steering inputs if you can. Coming around to the last corner. Slide it around with as much power. Cutting a little bit. Taking a bollard. And hopefully at some point across the line. There she is. With a 2 minutes and 1 second, 0.898 for our flying lap. Which, I'll be honest, I'm quite happy with. So let's get it back to the garage, see where it's going to stand on the gravel track lap time board. Definitely not in the top 5. And then see if we can sell this Buick Offroadmaster. Definitely a stretch on for a nice bit of profit. Well, there we go. All finished with the Buick. Definitely not Offroadmaster, which is what it is. But it was a lot of fun anyway. I'm glad it was suggested to go around the gravel track for a bit of amusement for the day, even though it was quite challenging. Coming in 15th out of 19, so not last, and I'm pleased with that, of our gravel track lap time board with a 2 minutes, 1 second, 0.898. But there we go. Let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for $36,252 at the beginning of the episode and could have sold it at a loss of $5,927. But we didn't do that. We spent a further $68,497 upgrading and modifying, tuning and painting, plus buying a whole new engine for this beast, putting our total spend at $104,749. Is there some money to be made from the Buick Roadmaster? Because we're definitely going to stick with that from now on, because it's definitely not the Offroadmaster anymore. But let's jump in and let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% complete, and did an alright job around the gravel track. Nothing special. But we did swap the engine out to the V8 Hemi of 426, giving us a 363 factory horsepower. We gained an additional 392 horsepower, bringing us up to 755. 108% power gained. Absolutely incredible. Maybe we shouldn't have gone for so much power, and we might have done a little bit better on the gravel track. But you know me, I like to give all of the power all of the time. Just not when racing. There was hardly any power put down around that track. But there we go. We spent $104,749 to get to this point. If we are selling it, are we going to make some money when we come to sell the Buick Not So Offroadmaster? with a sale of 157,006, does leave us with 52,257 profit from this beast of a car. Now, it might not have been great around the off-road track or the gravel track, but it is a beautiful looking car, very long, definitely a bit of a land yacht, especially with all of that power as well. But I am liking it. It was a good build nonetheless. Definitely enjoyed this one. Another installment from bdasilvacarvalho, if I'm saying it right. Link is in the description below if you want to grab this one for yourself. It is a lot of fun. There's also a link in the description to TK Aftermarket, Pipes by Multy, the Quality of Life mod, all the mods that I use in this game all of the time. And then when I use them, like the carbureted LS3s linked in this video, the 2JZs linked in this video. So if you want any of them, just go and find the video that they're in. They'll definitely be linked in the description below. But it's time to say goodbye to the Buick Not So Offroadmaster. Off you go. We'll take our 52,000 profit and be happy with it. And let's take a look what we've got coming up next. And this isn't going around the gravel track. No matter how many comments you leave saying we should do it, I will not be doing that. But this is another one by bdasilvacarvalho. This is the Cadillac Fleetwood. 2 configs available for this one. And we've gone for the standard one. Why have we gone for a standard one? Oh, it's different interior colour. Yeah, and I've gone for the red interior. That makes sense. I did that specifically. There we go. 2 different interior options. One black interior, I think, like this one, and one red interior. I think they're both called standard. So you just have to have a look when you're buying it. Make sure if you want to get that red interior like I've gone for, make sure you find it. Available in all of the places, I believe. I don't think I changed anything there. And we got it from the auction house. And it's in terrible condition. So we'll have our work out ahead of us. Did we get a good deal for it, though? No, of course not. 11,030 is what we paid, losing out on 2,298 if we were to sell it now for 8,732. But we aren't doing that one. The engine in this is the V8 overhead valve SS engine. So we are sticking with that one because there are no swap options. But if you want it around the racetrack, let me know in the comments. If you want it round down the drag strip, let me know in the comments. It's between one of those two, and whichever one gets the most comments, that's what I'm doing. So if only one person's comments where they want it, that's where it will go. So let me know, racetrack or drag strip, not the gravel track. Although it was fun, I'd like to be able to try and break some of my times, or at least get good times going. Anyway, 307 base horsepower from the overhead valve SS V8, which is pretty swanky, if I do say so. I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be very similar to the Roadmaster and the other ones by this mod creator. Hopefully still pretty good. There's some fun builds and they're relatively powerful. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. So make sure to join us back here on Thursday for the beautiful Cadillac Fleetwood. What did you think of the Buick Roadmaster today? Absolutely fun build around the gravel track. Obviously not the quickest, but it didn't come last on the gravel track lap time board, so that's always a good thing. And if you haven't given that beautiful Z a score out of 10 yet, please do so in the comments so we can get it added to the show car board, see where that one's going to sit up, hopefully in a good position. But there we go. That's it for today. And if you have enjoyed today's video, do leave a cheeky little like. Let me know what you thought of the Roadmaster in the comments below, and any suggestions for the Cadillac Fleetwood also down there in the comments. If you want to become a channel member and get access to my custom configs and liveries, most of the cars you can see out the front here are in that category. You can get access to them by clicking the join button below for £2.99 a month and becoming a member of the VM Garage Club. Like these guys on screen, another new member. Thank you so much for joining. Very much appreciate all of you. It's great to have all of these members. I hope you're enjoying the configs and liveries. And it'd be nice if you chatted a bit more. But anyway, enough about that one. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.